Hey guys, how are you? Hopefully everybody's doing well. Today I finally, how to phrase this? I got around to doing the Amius normal because I always start off at hard. So I got my booty kicked in hard. I came down here to normal, rushed the Amius rooms. So here I am. Gonna just show you my team, and again, this was normal difficulty. I couldn't beat, I don't know, I couldn't get to it on hard this time. I've beaten it on different rotations on hard, but not a good one for me. So drop down to normal. This was the team I used. I've got Geomancer, Pythion, Venomage, Rector, Drath, and Artak. The first thing I want to talk about is actually the champions I didn't use. Because if you look at the list, there is a ton of strong champions, and I purposely picked like not the most amazing champions that I could pick just to kind of show that it is doable with other people. Like, for example, it could have picked Newt. That would be a very good champion. Elytreon Blademaster is literally a free win on this. Like, if you have this champion, because his buffs are protected versus bosses, which obviously this is. So this is like literally, all of the best buffs in the game that can't be removed, plus a cleanse. So this champion is a free win. That's like probably the only reason I was ever able to beat it on hard. On the rotation I did, if you need like a reviver, you've got Molly, Godseeker, Aniri. If you need a healer cleanser, Demitha is extremely strong at both of those things. You have Ox the Remember, who's a good champion, decreased attack, heal, poisons, which are good during this fight. White Queen and Cora, also reviver. You have Brogni, I'm sure that would work. So there's like actually a ton of good champions. By no means do you have to use the ones that I'm using. I've beaten this fight with like Tila in it, I used once. I've used, all kinds of different people, so by no means does it have to be these ones. Just kind of, take a look at the principles of the fight, essentially. So here is my little recording of it. The reason I'm starting at 1 minute is because my Geomancer got resisted in the first one, and I had to restart it, even though it is my Iron Twins Geomancer, and it has way more accuracy than needed. If you need the accuracy, you could do like the Veno in the lead. I went with the HP because don't really need the accuracy. I think you need like 400 for this fight. So most people would probably have around that depending on what level of content they're doing. Like if you use these champions in Hydra, this is like my Iron Twins Geomancer, like I said, so I have way more accuracy than needed for this specific fight. But just kind of talk about what we're looking for here. Geomancer, obviously his HP burn with the passive is the signature Geomancer ability. HP aura is nice. Pythion, cleansing, reviving. His passive also. Venomage, poisons are pretty good in this fight, and he also has stuff like decreased attack, heal reduction, decreased defense. And then Rector Drath, the heals, the veil for like the damage reduction, reviver. And Artak, we've got HP burn, decrease attack, extension of HP burn, good champion. Okay, so here was my little run. This is like the fastest run I've ever done on this. Usually I beat it on normal, but sometimes it takes me more or less time. Sometimes things go wrong. You guys know how it is in this game. If you kill him at the wrong time, if one buff like gets placed at the wrong time or not placed, the whole thing is a disaster. So here was my little run. Just gonna go ahead and start off with applying the perfect veil for everybody. Gonna have to skip. I apologize. I was doing this while I was eating breakfast this morning, so I'm definitely just sitting here eating breakfast. You can eat if you choose. Go for it. Do it over your morning or evening meal. Okay, important thing to note here is always with this fight, when you apply buffs and debuffs is crucial. So it's fine to open with the Artak HP burn. That is, completely fine. So if we go in here, let me show you his two abilities. Okay, So this one before attacking increases the duration of all buffs and decreases the duration of debuffs on Amius. So, and it's also a giant heal. So basically, whenever he uses this, he's probably going to instantly heal up whatever you just did to him. So it doesn't really matter what you did. And then the next one, this is the one that reverses all of the debuffs that you put on him, right? So you don't want to put decreased attack here because it is going to be replaced with increased attack. You don't want to put Geo's weaken because it's going to get replaced with strengthen. You don't want to put Venomage's heal reduction because it gets replaced with continuous heal. So important thing to keep in mind, he usually leads with this one, but if you were to put any of the reversey debuffs on him, he'll definitely lead with the other one. So basically, don't do that. I wouldn't bother using anything too damaging. Like if I did have Newt, for example, I probably wouldn't use his big damagey ability right here because he would just heal it all up instantly with this one. Or, you know, most of it. So it's basically... and that's why I said the HP burn is safe to open with, because that's not one of these debuffs. But basically everything that everybody else does, like everything Venomage does, everything Geo does, you know, decrease accuracy, weaken, you know, you don't want that stuff to get reversed. So going back to my version of the fight, just going to do the A1, just going to do the A1 here. Okay, so yep, he healed the tiny little amount of damage that we did to him. Just gonna keep going with A1s. And again, he hasn't used the reversing ability yet, so I'm still holding my cards. I don't want to use those yet. Just keep coming out with those A1s. Use the creeping petrify, that way I don't accidentally apply the decreased accuracy. Okay, so that was the stun. She's in Relentless, so she did get stunned because she took an extra turn. She no longer has block debuffs on. That's fine. You know, it's not game ruining or anything for me, but everybody else was able to not be stunned because they have the debuffs blocked. And then now, both abilities are down, right? I can see here, both abilities are down. He's going to go into the Eclipse form in 2 turns. So at this particular moment, I can do whatever I want. You know, it's free for all abilities right here. So going to come out with the Venom Poisons, the heal reduction. I can use the Quicksand Grasp, probably just A1s from my healers. And then also important here, if you did choose to use Geomancer, don't override his HP burn with the Artak HP burn. You can like extend it with your A1, but don't place your HP burn over his, or else it'll negate his passive basically, because now it's Artak's HP burn and not Geo's. So don't do that. And then you can see he hurt himself quite a bit because of the Geo passive. And then Veno A2, that's really good. The decreased attack, decreased defense. We even got the decreased accuracy from Geo. Okay, and then also of note, remember that when he does go into Eclipse form, the first thing he's going to do is reverse all of your buffs into the bad debuffs. So that's why you can see I passed up using the Perfect Veil continuous heal on Rector, and why I declined to use the block debuffs on Pythion, because those are basically just going to get reversed in about half a turn here. So we're going to hold off on that. Don't want to use that. Just keep A1ing. Again, I don't want to override Geo's HP burn, so not doing that. He's going into the other form. The sleep, irresistible, goes through block debuffs, so can't do anything about that. So we're all kind of waking up here. Gonna use the A1. That's an ability, and now it's okay to use it. Okay to use that. Me making sure I'm recording, as always. And then, so here you can see so he's used 2 of these abilities, but these abilities are like, whatever. They're not actually the scary ones of this form. The A1 is actually the scary one, because it's kind of like the Mortu Macabre Peril. It's like ignore everything, ignore shield, ignore defense, and it's big, mega damaging ability. It could even just shred through like one of your really tanky characters. So I'm applying decreased attack. I don't really care about HP burn in this particular moment. I want to make sure he has decreased attack on because it is damage based on attack. And then it's, you know, it's okay to come out with that. It's okay to use that because we're going to be in this form for another few turns. So it's okay. Again, I don't want to override Geo's HP burn. That's the big ability. You can see, I mean, that did quite a lot of damage as is. You can see it could have been really, really bad if we didn't have that, or depending on who he chose. You know, this is Artak HP based champ, very tanky. So it could have been a lot worse there. Coming out with the Veno A1, which can detonate the poisons. We're doing all this. I'm deciding, I guess. And again, don't want to override the Geo HP burn. And then, okay, so I did kind of mess up a little bit. Because my debuffs are lingering, and he is going to go back into the other form. So he actually did reverse them into their respective buffs, right? Which is okay. I mean, it's normal. If he got like a continuous heal off, it wouldn't be the absolute worst thing in the world if he used like one turn of that. But the really nice thing about having Venomage on the team is that basically we're all stunned, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to have Python cleanse. And I'm actually just going to come around with the heal reduction again, because he already opened with the reverse the ability, right? So it's fine for me to place the heal reduction now. Got 4 turns of this, thanks to Master Hexer, I guess, for, you know, lengthening the duration. And now he is going to take turns with the heal, but it's not going to heal. That big ability that he just used would normally heal him for 20% of his HP, right? So actually not healing at all. So this is actually like really, 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 really good champion for this fight. Gonna come out with the Geo Burn again. Attacking, you know, it's fine to use whatever I've got now because both of his abilities are down here. I'm thinking, but probably doesn't really matter. Could detonate the poison. Oh, there are no poisons. Okay, so that's why I didn't use that. I can also remove the Geo buffs, so that's another option. If, you know, if the heal reduction was not cool, could just flat out remove those. And again, like you can see, even if he had healed one turn, you know, he'll heal a little bit, right? But it's not like, oh my god, my entire run is ruined or anything. Although obviously, of course, it's nice enough not to deal with those things. He does die, and remember, you have to kill him in this form with the moon as the background and everything. You cannot kill him in the red moon eclipse form because he will respawn with like, I don't know, 1/4 or 1/3 of his health or something. So you don't want to deal with all that nonsense. It's happened to me. I think I have a video here where I basically had to kill him twice because I did that. So try to avoid that if you at all possibly can. So he does fall, and then, you know, you can get all of your gear that you'll probably sell 90% of it. I think I only kept a couple of these in Epic Book. Wow, for all that. So let me show you guys the builds and battle. 9 minutes. Unfortunately, we lost. So let me just show you the builds if you guys are interested. Artak, hopefully you were able to claim him for free in the login event last year or whenever that was. This is my build. It's pretty basic. I just went perception. My goal is to get him in like Hex or Provoke for Hydro would be nice, but I mean you can't go wrong with like the perception to get all the accuracy and speed that you need. So that would be my Artak. And again, you know, if you don't have quite the same stats or whatever, you can see like that fight was basically not even close at all. And then obviously the Brimstone, I forgot to mention, that is really helpful during the Amius fight. Not necessary, but definitely does a ton of extra damage. So Brimstone, nice. Pythion, here. I have him in like Stone Skin build. Again, I had him in Relentless for a long time. You can do whatever the heck you want. Does not have to be anywhere near this exactly, or, you know, maybe you go harder in res or defense or whatever. This is like one of those builds that I've had for a long time, and I haven't even looked at it in forever. So that's the Pythion build. Rector Drath right here. This is probably my favorite epic by far. She's super good. Use her all over the place. I have her in Relentless because there was this period where I was just building all my supports in Relentless. You don't have to have her in that set by any means, and maybe it's better if you don't, because like you saw, she did get stunned one time because she took the extra turn. And then also Amius doesn't like it when you take the extra turns. In the form 1, it did decrease the cooldown of him going into the Eclipse form by 1 if that happens. So yeah. So she's pretty tanky. She's like 60k HP, 5k defense, 256 speed. Again, like you saw the fight, it really wasn't close at all. If you have like 60k HP and 3k defense, it's probably going to be fine. You know, like that fight, not even close at all. Venomage, I'm lucky enough, I have a 5-star awakening. Oh, I guess I do have the awakening on her also. So yeah, this is like, I mean, you can see too, like I'm using accuracy set. I'm using, like, I have a level 12 ring. It's nothing super duper crackeny or anything. Like 6k HP, 3k defense, 246 speed, 411 accuracy. All of your damage is coming from the poisons, the abilities. I have cruelty on the blessing. So, you know, this is not like you don't have to build attack or anything, even though I think it is technically an attack character. Yeah, damage based on attack. So, but yeah, not necessary at all. Don't worry, you can use your old accuracy and speed gear. There was basically a period where I geared champs and I just kind of like looked through my inventory and I just took all of like the kind of older sets like accuracy and I just put them on people, you know, the like good pieces I had in it just to kind of clear them out. So Venomage was one of those and that works. This is the Geomancer I was using. Like I said, this is my Iron Twins Geomancer. So more accuracy than most people would maybe build theirs with. Again, all of your damage comes from your passive basically, so just, you know, concerned about staying alive as opposed to attack. And was that it? Was that 5 people? Geo, Veno, Rector, Pythion, Artak. Yeah, that was the full team. So that was the gang that I chose to use this time around. Like I said, I really think there's a ton of promising champions in here that you could use. You do not have to use those exact ones by any means at all, because yeah, bunch of good stuff. Okay, you guys, well, that was my very exciting Amius normal team. I can go ahead and claim my 25 candles, which doesn't even get me to my chest that has nothing good in it. So very exciting. All right, you guys, well, good luck with this fight or Curse City or whatever you're working on in raid this week. And thank you all for hanging out and take care of yourselves. Goodbye.